Good afternoon, everybody. How are we? Welcome to of Legends of Noia. That is where the I had like two music sources going in my ears, and I was like, okay, wait a minute. My mind. But welcome in, everybody, to the of Noia. I am your MFNH Paul, and with me, of course, our lovely band of adventurers. Say hello, lovely band of adventurers.
Hi.
Hello.
Hopefully won't die today.
Go, do quick introductions. We will start off with Stacks.
Hello, I am Stax, also known as Judgy DM. Today I am playing Bev Romry, the Dwarf Ranger. Beastmaster.
And of course we have Laura.
Hi, I'm Laura, Glittering Moon Elf, and I play as Nissa, the Fearbold Cleric.
Well, and of course, Clinton.
Hello, I am Clinton, also known as Superdog18, and I am playing the Leonin Drunken Monk. How do you do?
And of course, rounding out this lovely band of adventurers, Sarah.
Hello, everybody. I am Sarah, also known as Queen Corby, and today I will be playing Genevieve Stormcall, the Goliath Barbarian.
Oh, yes. Oh. Now, before we get into the recap, let me be the first to remind everybody that if you guys are enjoying the show, because if you are subbed right here to the channel, you guys have the power to give not only inspiration, but just a teeny bit of luck. That's right. You can give away one luck die, which is a D. They can either re-roll themselves or make me, the DM, re-roll. If they don't like that, I'm going to hurt their. Also give out inspiration, which is going to be a D6, which they can add on to any roll that is not damage. That being said, you are sub to either right here on Dungeon Mechanics, Judge DM, or the Superdog18, or FNH Paul. You have the ability to throw those in there. However, if you are sub to multiple of us, I am sorry, they do not stack. So you just go through and be like, I know, I will collect all of the gems and then be able to give out all of the luck. Not a thing, but we do appreciate it.
I mean, it could be a thing. I mean, it could be. I mean, like...
That is something that we will have to bring up at the next staff meeting.
I don't want that much luck because that just means Paul's going to throw more stuff at us.
Yeah, I
He's
wouldn't
like,
worry about.
You have 10. Let's just burn through these real quick.
You're worried about the.
Stacks
you're
says
running,
that as if
yeah.
he wouldn't do the same thing.
I was gonna say.
I'm just.
Yeah, Stacks is worried about. Yeah, I was gonna say. Stacks is saying that I would do that. I have not been very cruel of a DM, or at least I don't believe so in our first couple episodes. But Stacks has been a DM now long enough to just hate his players. So now he's just gonna, like, really? Coffee.
No one's died
Coffee.
recently. She came back. That doesn't count. I mean, like, dead.
Like, she was, like, super dead. What do you mean?
I mean, she's alive and well. So what's
Oh, define well.
Define alive.
I mean,
Look, all right, I digress. That is not this campaign. Of course, over here on Dungeon Mechanics, sorry, we got a little bit more help. Over here on Dungeon Mechanics, we have a whole litany of shows that stream throughout the week. You guys, if you head on over to our Discord by hitting exclamation, okay, you can actually see the calendar and see what shows live when. The December calendar made up and then out. Obviously, with the holidays, there are going to be less games. Spend time with families and not staring into a ad as nice and or sad. We have a whole litany of new shows coming out in the new year. GMs coming in, players coming of that out. But all that being said, let's get in tonight's episode, Legends of Noia. So, last time on Noia, the lovely band of adventurers managed to take down or thwart the, we'll say, hostile takeover of the mill here in Oak Creek. They came to find out that Amber Ungart, sister of Harbik, the one who actually owns it, had made a deal with Jackson and possibly a third party to essentially get Harbik to sell, so that way they could all make a bit of money and she could leave the mill, leave this town, and go get that wanderlust. I feel like her wandering soul could be quenched by just walking around and adventure. Upon getting into town, they saw that Harbik was beaten to a bloody pulp, in which case they stepped in, defeating Jackson and Amber and all the guards, and managing to save Harbik at death's door. Now, some would say that he did it all on his own. Others would say that if it wasn't for the moral support of the Legends of Noia, then he might have died anyway. But I digress. So after the battle, they get Harbik to the monastery, or to the church, where they fill Samael in on all of the information that has transpired with everything happening up at Lumber Mill. Also bringing in actor turned bad guy, Boreas Steele, with his testimony as well, corroborating what the legend had said. Samael, a bit shocked, not realizing just how crazy and how much grief it affected the town. Set to work fixing Harbik, as well as the other in a bandit attack on the city that Jackson and kind of staged in order to take out Harbik under the guise of team. Then proceeded to kind of hang around the axe pommel, get a little bit of chatting in, as trying to set necessarily the record straight on what transpired, in which time Bev Romery Centauri, I believe is what he said last name was, that he made up on the spot, proceeded to talk to Billy and Clive, the two hunters, monster hunters, that Jinvia has grown to care about dramatically, with their chupacabra. Proceeded to talk to Billy and essentially talk some shit about Jackson, about how he wasn't a good person. And in turn got clocked in the side of the head with a glass. And before anything could get too crazy, Clive stepped in, took Billy out, and then they proceeded. They kind of hung out in the tavern the rest of the night, trying to get a general idea of what they were going to do the following day. Some said to stay until Harbik awoke. Others were saying they should split out of town. Some even believing that they should head north to see if Jinvia could get in contact with Talos. Some storms that are more prevalent in the north. All that being said, let us... Oh. Jinvia had a lovely dream. That is actually where we will pick back up, with Jinvia shooting awake after vivid dream. The hilt of a weapon round lightning.
So after experiencing this vision that she's had in her dreams, her eyes just shoot open, and she kind of like just immediately like sits up, but with the force of her sitting up, she kind of like falls out of bed.
Take 4 points. I was gonna make a joke about her hitting her head as soon as she got up, just like, oh, this bed was designed for small people. Or it's like, oh, it's a bunk bed. We never decided. But no, I'm not that term. This time. Nissa, can you give me a perception check? Actually, wait. Yeah, perception check.
Okay. $23.
23. You're sleeping soundly, visions of sugar plums dancing in your head, and all of a sudden you just hear as Jinvia tumbles out of her bed.
Nissa's immediately just gonna sit upright and be looking around like, what the heck was that noise?
So let me lay out this picture that you see before you. You see Jinvia's bottom half on the bed, like her legs are like draped over the bed, and her top half is just laying on the floor, and she's just like, oh, okay.
I can see this exact pose because I'm just imagining every anime thing where it's just like somebody's woken up, like the legs twitching, like.
Jinvia, are you alright?
Yes, I had a dream. It was rather surprising. And she's kind of like trying to like move herself to sit upright. She kind of like swings her legs over the bed and kind of plants them on the ground before kind of like slowly getting up. I'm sorry if I woke you.
Oh no, I'm just glad you're not hurt.
No, I'm not hurt. I'm not hurt. She kind of looks outside and sees that it's raining. How interesting. Well, I guess I'm up now. Please, if you're still tired, go back to sleep. I'm fine. I'm fine.
I don't think I'll be able to get back to sleep. Once I'm awake, I'm usually awake.
And Jimmy kind of like just like rubs the back of her head, like, right. Well, then shall we get breakfast?
All right.
Yeah, even with the rain, you can tell it is the sun is coming up.
So Jinvia is kind of just gonna like gather up her things, her great axe she kind of like puts on her back before kind of like just like, all right, I'm starving. Let's go get some breakfast.
And Nissa will gather her things and she'll follow Jinvia out.
So you guys begin heading your way downstairs. There are a few patrons in there. Nothing. You don't recognize any of them. They don't any of the crowd that had been old, fairly old-looking, kind of sitting, staring out the window, sipping on, well, something from a mug. Scattered around, like breakfast. I am blanking on the name that I gave the husband now. And
Ben.
Ben? Okay. I was like, it was something with a B, but I can't remember if I went silly with it. As you guys come down, Ben is kind of like wiping down the counter and just looking at you. Morning. Sleep okay?
I slept well.
Slept all right.
Okay, well, what can I get for you?
What do you have for breakfast?
He like stops where he's like, I forgot you guys aren't actually from here. He just kind of pulls out essentially what would be the equivalent of a menu, kind of slides it across, and on it is, bread, eggs, coffee, and then like there's a few other little things, and like there's also like some fruit.
All of this, but the beer sounds wonderful for me.
Okay.
I'll just have some coffee, eggs, and bread.
Coffee, eggs, and bread. Everything but the beer. What about your two companions coming down, or are they?
I think they're still asleep.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, let me get that started for you. Just sit anywhere, and I'll be out with the coffee.
Thank you, Ben.
No problem. Kind of throws a towel over his shoulder. Go ahead, Bev and oh God, why did I blank on your character's name? Belgrim. I was like, I looked at it and I saw it, read it, and then immediately looked away and was like, I forgot what I just read. Can you guys both give me a Constitution roll, please? Right, con roll.
Nat 20 for 22.
That's
5.
probably the only nat 20 you're gonna get the entire session today.
So, Bev, you kind of, with a big, you begin waking up, hearing the little tapping of the water on the window of the rain. Torque kind of curled up just next to your head, just snoring happily. Yeah, as you begin waking up, Belgrim, you are out. Don't know why you would be so unconscious, but I couldn't put a finger on it. Wouldn't be able to put a finger.
Bev will get over and kind of like stretch a little bit. Walk over to Felgrim, like push him a little. Hey, you up? Hello.
Yeah, you would wake up. You would wake up at this
Okay.
point, I imagine. Yeah, like I'm not gonna be like, no, you can't wake up. Like, no, it was just to see who got up first here, but
I naturally don't wake up to that, so I was just curious, but what? God. Bev.
Morning time.
Ugh,
Oh,
disgusting.
no.
Good morning. And he just like slowly clambers out of bed, not wanting to get up.
I feel for Felgrim right now because I feel that this entire party, our morning people, and Felgrim is just like, nah, fam, get out of here. Let me sleep.
Yeah.
That's brought on by Felgrim's other habits.
Hold on. And he just quirks. All right, we're ready for the day. Let's go.
The day just started.
And then so's the drinking. What do you want from me?
I mean, I'm gonna go see if there's breakfast. You want anything?
Yeah, I'm awake. Might as well.
So, yep, he'll start getting his stuff ready to go down.
Alright, so as you guys are kind of gathering up your stuff, you head down. It's already down there. Sorry, my mic's acting up. Apologize. Alright. Yeah, you guys.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Bev.
Sleep well, I hope.
I slept well enough.
Slept okay.
Felgrim just sits next to him. Ugh.
Felgrim, did you get enough sleep?
No. I'm awake in the morning.
I'm assuming that's when everybody gets up, Felgrim.
No. I like to get up when the moon or the sun is halfway in the sky. Perfect time.
Halfway. Oh, you mean the afternoon?
Yeah.
But then that's just half of the day gone.
And it's beautiful. That's half the day I ain't gotta worry about.
At this point, Ben comes out with the 2 coffees, looks at you two, and just like, oh, would you guys like food, drink?
Yes.
We got bread, meat, eggs, bit of fruit, coffee, and ale.
Yes.
I'll take steak and eggs and ale. None of that pitiful fruit and bread shit.
Don't actually have steak, I just said meat. But I can get you some meat.
Meat. What's the difference?
Well, there's chicken, there's
I
pork.
wasn't being serious. The point is meat is meat.
Oh.
I'm gonna let you just have that one. But Mr. I'm sorry, I don't believe I actually caught you, any of y'all's names.
Well, I'm Bev.
Genevieve.
Nissa.
Pilgrim.
Pilgrim. Bev. Want everything.
Yes.
Right, okay. Just a minute. Back with the coffee and ale. And Ben is just like, all right. Ugh. This is how my morning's starting now. All right, let's go. Yeah, so he goes back, he starts, brings out the coffee. He brings out 2 ales and a coffee, and then goes back into the kitchen and starts whipping up.
Genevieve just takes her cup of coffee, brings it up to her lips, and is just slowly sipping on the coffee. Just that first sip hitting her soul.
So, this coffee is just straight. It is just black. There is no sugar. There is nothing. That is just
Yep.
pure.
She's fine with it.
Okay.
She's like, yep.
Go ahead and give me a constitution check real quick.
Just con or con save.
Just a con check.
That's a 21.
Coffee hits you and begins to soothe your soul. You feel it going down, and then it just that nexus. Great feeling.
And Genevieve's just smiling supplely at herself as she's drinking her coffee.
Nissa and Bev, can I also get you guys to make a constitution check real quick for me?
Okay.
I'm gonna say this is the ale.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, yeah.
So this is me drinking from the ale. Just for a little
for
context
those viewers at home.
Yeah.
18.
Oh, we're twins.
Both 18. Okay, both of you, same thing. You feel that coffee just hit, and I was just gonna see if it was gonna make you jittery.
Yeah.
Like you're just gonna be like, coffee. That's all that was. It's like
It's what happens when Torque drinks coffee.
I mean, it's like here's the thing though, right? Like that's a strong brew. Like that's not like cut with anything. That's just beans and water. That's it. So like,
That's some strong bean juice.
oh yeah. But Ben comes out and he starts handing out the food. Just a pile of meat in front of Felgrim. And then everybody else is getting, all their food out there. He's like, all right, is there anything else I can do for you, or are you guys set for now?
I think I'm all set.
Okay. And goes around the table kind of pointing, doing that kind of waiter thing, like, good. All right.
I'm good.
All right, just when you guys are ready, I'll cash you out, and then you guys can be on your way. And he leaves. He goes back behind the bar. And...
What's the plan today? Are we leaving early? We checking on Harbick? Going to the church? What's happening?
I would feel more comfortable if we checked on Harbeck before we left.
Jinvia, like, eating her breakfast, going to check on Harbeck. She suddenly gets this, like, twisting in her stomach as she feels guilt kind of start climbing up on her. And she kind of just, like, swallows heavily. Yeah, let's, should probably check on Harbeck quickly before we kind of head out of town.
Can I do an insight check on Shinvia? Just see if I can tell how she's feeling?
Are you... Okay, well, yeah, give me an insight check.
Oh, that's 11.
11.
Yeah, it's a
Okay,
6,
Jinvia, are you trying to hide this, or are you just kind of... Like, are you being subtle with this, or is this like a very, like, emotions on your sleeve kind of moment? Or heart on your sleeve kind of...
I think Felgrim would probably notice.
Okay.
She's not, like, trying to hide it or anything. It's kind of was just like, she hears be like, yeah, we should check on Harbeck, and she's like, oh, yeah.
You notice, like, as you guys are talking about it, her pace that she was eating, like, kind of, like, suddenly hits a hitch. Like, it just had a moment of lag, like, no, we're fine. Yeah, yep, totally go. You pick up on it.
Jinvia, no one will fault you if you would like to hang back while we check on Harvick. It's understandable.
She kind of, like, just sets her eating utensil down, looking at Felgrim. No, I will be coming with you.
Okay. Well, if you need Felgrim's like monk and monastery training start kind of sort of kicking in. If you need someone to lean on, a shoulder, or speaking buddy, let me know. I got an ear for you.
But don't you need your ears to hear? Why would you give me ear?
It's an expression. Expression just means that I will be hearing what you say if you need someone to talk to.
I'm sorry, Paul. I'm sorry.
No, it's a matter of, I don't know if his slip-ups are because he's actually slipping up, or if he's playing the character, and I love that I can't tell the difference. Like, and we will never know.
Oh, I see. Well, I appreciate it. I will keep that in mind.
That goes for anybody. This is an open invitation. It's more for Jinvia at the moment. I feel she needs it more, but anybody wants to speak, I'm here.
Is Torque eating, by the way?
Yeah, he's eating like the fruit and the bread.
Okay. Ben looks over at Torque, like, kind of rag at the ready. Like, you know, that like, ready to, like, snap it, like, hey, knock that off. Like, he's kind of got the rag over his shoulder, and he's just kind of looking at the Torque, like, try anything. So is that the game plan for you guys then?
Yep.
All right. So yeah, after a little while, then after eating, you guys are kind of finished. Ben comes over and he kind of starts gathering up the stuff. Yeah, so that'll be Say 4 silver for the lot.
Nissa will pay him.
Thank you.
Julia's just like reaches into her pouch. Here, Nissa.
Ben just takes the silver. He's like, I've seen this before. I'm gonna be here all day. He takes the 4 silver. He's like, thank you very much. And yeah, if you guys need anything else before you guys head out, the axe pommel's here. We got a couple provisions, not a whole lot here, but some stuff if you need to. And he just scoops it all up like one arm, just whoop, and kind of goes.
Did he mean provisions here or in town?
I assume he means in town.
He pokes his head back. Head in here. And pokes his head back out.
I guess
I'll be
I
right
was
back.
wrong.
He's gonna wait at the counter.
He leans back out. Don't feel bad. Happens a lot. Comes back in. He has really good hearing. He needs to with this bar. He's like,
That's good grief! Super hearing over here.
Look, with a sneaky bardic wife and with like just running a bar and needing to be able to hear shenanigans happening before it happens. Yeah, you get real good at that like isolating shit. Plus, it's pretty quiet. There's nothing really. Not a very big establishment. But yeah, he kind of drops off some of the stuff and he kind of hears you approaching. Comes up. Yeah, Mr. Bev, what can I do for you?
Well, was wondering if I could buy maybe a small bag of coffee grinds, beans.
Oh, yeah.
And
okay. Well,
do you have tea leaves as well?
all right. Well, hold on. Do you want the beans or the grounds?
The grounds if you have them, but if you have the beans, we can crunch them up and then make the grounds. But
Okay. I can compress them for you. It's all right. And as far as tea is concerned, no, actually, we kind of been waiting on a shipment of tea to come in here for probably the last 2 weeks or so. I don't know what's going on with it, but
okay, well,
But
I'll
yeah,
just
no-
take the grounds and I'll keep
Okay.
an eye out for the leaves while we're traveling.
you know what? Just choose wisely.
Oh yeah, of course.
All right. So you just want to? Okay, one bag. I got you. Anything else for you?
That should be it.
All right, cool. Back in a moment. And then as you just hear like this turning sound and then just grinding. Just comes back a moment later, and he has about this little kind of burlap looking bag. Looks kind of like this, like kind of baggy like this. About a pound of coffee grounds in it. All right, sets it down. Call it 5 or I'm sorry, we'll call it 5 copper.
Oh, okay. Here you go.
Yeah, it's not anything. They're nothing too special. Like we've kind of had them for a little while. But how was the food? Kind of pockets the money.
Oh, great. I am full. So
All right, well that's good. That's good. Yeah, I wasn't sure if the rabbit and the raccoon would like merge well on the plate, but
rabbit and raccoon.
yeah, that was the meat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, we had a little bit of venison, but now it's just kind of like more rodents, small game stuff like that. Oh,
Oh,
I knew
also
it tasted wild.
keep an eye out for some of the game that's out there. We came around some like ragged wolves, so just make sure the meat's good before you cook it.
ragged wolves. What do you mean?
Wolves that
They were starved.
like they got into some. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant rabid, like a weird way of saying rabid wolf. I was like, all right, cool. So now we have diseased meat. Good. But they were just like scrawny.
Kinda, yeah.
All right, yeah. We'll keep an eye out. Thanks for the heads up.
No problem.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, you guys need anything else? I'll be here. Wife won't be starting until probably about afternoon time frame. So. All right. You guys have safe travels. All right.
Yes, thank you.
And he just goes into the back and just starts kind of like.
Well, I'm all ready if y'all are all ready.
I'm ready.
Ready as I'll ever be.
All right. So
We're gonna
as
simulate that was Feldman down his drink. I'm ready.
all right. So as you guys, kind of finish up, you guys gather up your stuff and you head out. You guys start making your way to the church. You see that, in this kind of early morning, the streets are fairly muddy. It's been raining for a little bit, nothing too heavy on the downpour. You see a bit of ash where some of the buildings that had been burned the day prior have now been fully extinguished thanks to the team as well as the rain this morning, putting down any other embers that might have remained. And as you guys kind of walk down the muddy streets, you get to the church. The church doors are both wide open, kind of letting that cool morning air kind of wafting in. As you guys enter what looked like an infirmary the day prior with, just rows and rows of people, is now down to like maybe about 4 towards the back. Everyone else had been are better and they had gone back to their respected homes. You see Samael and one of the younger I'd say teenagers in the town kind of moving the pews back into position.
Good morning, Samael.
Yes, Genevieve. Yes. Good morning. Good morning to all of you.
Morning, Sammy.
Morning.
Oh, now I'll finish up here. You have work to do. And little kid just kind of waves and runs past all you guys. I won't lie, I'm a little surprised to see you here today.
Well, we came to see Harbeck. How is he?
Oh, he is good. He awoke late last night. Should be stirring here momentarily. And then you kind of look and you see Harbeck is kind of like leaned up against the wall, or like kind of hunched up a little bit, and he's just kind of like reading through a book. Harbeck, you have guessed. And he just kind of looks over, sees you guys, and is immediately like, oh shit. And he kind of, as he sits up, he's bandaged up pretty well. His face still covered with bruises, cuts, like just a big welt of a bruise right here on the side of his face. Well, oh, sorry about that. I'm told I have y'all to thank for saving me.
We were just in the right place at the right time, sort of.
Little bit.
I mean, kind of sort of what you hired us to do in a way, also.
Yeah, Samael kind of informed me of some of it. But, yeah, I, didn't expect it to go down necessarily that way.
So you remember everything?
Well, I remember hearing bandits running. Remember hearing the guards yelling. I came outside, axe in hand. Amber came outside, axe in hand. And, well, Jackson was sitting there pointing, talking about defending this spot and that, getting people into places, and I squared up on one of the bandits. Next thing I know, well, and he kind of leans forward, and you see just a knot on the back of his head, like right there. Something hit me in the back of the head. Next thing I know, I'm waking up here. And well, I'm kind of inclined to believe what Samael told me, especially with the actor Styles, whatever his name was.
Boris, yeah.
Yeah, which I believe he is supposed to be somewhere around here. Not entirely sure where. Samael kind of looks over. He was not here when I awoke.
Sounds about right.
I did notice a few provisions missing, as well as him, but honestly, I believe he will need it more than we will.
I hope he'll make better choices of who he works for in the future.
Oh, desperation claws at even some of the best and most noble of people. But, with all that being said, he kind of like goes to stand up and is kind of has a moment of like wobbling, but remains.
Jinvia is gonna be like put her hands on his shoulders and just slowly make him sit down. You were badly hurt.
I don't. Oh, okay, all right. He sits down. He's like, he would have just stood there, but like he's real sore, so he just sits back down like, all right. All right,
You
look.
need to save your strength.
Well, yeah, I also need to check out the mill, because old Samael won't tell me what happened to it. And, well, the old dwarven resilience. You all know more than most. Well, you too, I guess. And he kind of points to you, Bev, like, can't keep a good dwarf down.
True, but we need to know our limits. Don't want to injure ourselves further.
All right. He just kind of like leans back a little bit. Well, regardless, what exactly, I want to hear it from the horse's mouths here, so to speak, not to insinuate.
Jinvia's like looking around. We do not have horse heads.
Expression.
Expression, yeah.
Oh,
He looks over to Nissa. Where is she from again?
Some up north, I believe.
Right. You were a shelter child, weren't you there, Jinvia?
I did not get out of Snorharf much.
Ah, Snowhawk. Never mind. That, explains a few things. Alright, well, let me hear the story straight from y'all. Just the condensed version, please.
We arrived. You were injured.
No, sorry.
Sister.
I meant what happened up top at the work site.
Oh,
Yeah, Samael filled me in on everything that happened here. I want to know what happened up there.
When we arrived at the mill site, there were a bunch of bandits and some kobolds. And we took them down, and that's when we captured Boreas, who was apparently an actor only hired to play the part of the bandit captain. And he filled us in on how Jackson hired them when we made our way back down here. And everything else occurred.
He kind of slowly nodding his head like, okay, all right.
And we did free some workers up that way who might also be able to kind of tell you how they got captured and put in there. There was this crazed bandit that I don't know how any of them survived, and then a bunch of kobolds, and yeah, it was pretty messy.
The foreman up there didn't make it though. Fortunately, he was dead when we arrived.
Oh yeah, the foreman was one of the guys who washed up.
Yeah.
You all right?
Perfectly fine. Why ask?
Well, I mean, it's for
You are-
like I'm a dwarf, and even I know you shouldn't drink this early.
I'm awake. That's the time to drink. You worry about your life. I'll worry about mine.
I don't think you are worrying about your life, but I digress. Not really one to judge somebody on their choices. Kind of holding up the as he holds up his like metal hand, like his hook hand, like I've made some mistakes in my time. But did you end up the men you freed? Where are they?
We don't know where they went exactly. They ran off pretty fast as soon as they were freed.
Right. Hey, Samael. And Samael kind of, who is once again just kind of straightening up the church, like rolling things up, just glances over. We might need to send a search party up the valley, see if we can find the rest of the workers. I will let some people know. We'll see what we can do. The sooner the better, I assume. Yeah, and he looks over and like, find out wherever Shump took off to and send him up there as well. Boy ought to know the trail at least. How was he, by the way?
He was helpful for leading us there, but as far as everything else, we took care of the rest.
Alright.
He wasn't a big fighter. Not holding that against him, just...
Yeah. No.
Well, I guess there's a first time for everything, I suppose. Half-orc not one to fight.
Although, if you have anybody in town that speaks orc, very helpful for communicating.
I mean, yeah. That's how I talk to him.
Oh. He made it seem like he didn't get to talk to people much.
No, he just doesn't like talking to people. Well, he don't like talking to me because according to him, I am intimidating, which once again is the funniest damn thing I've ever heard. You know, dwarf, half-orc. It's funny. But, no, everybody else, he just doesn't like talking. That and, you know, I don't know, people give him weird looks when he starts speaking orc. People think he's, like, trying to cast some hoodoo, voodoo stuff. But I digress. I believe there was, well, a mention of payment for a job well done by y'all. But,
Cynthia kind of like just shifts her gaze away, like.
but, I won't lie to y'all. May not be quite as much as I originally had promised.
I'm not concerned about the money. I'm just glad that you're safe and that more people weren't hurt. The ones that did fall, it's unfortunate.
You see, whoever wants to can give me an insight check.
$18.
Hey!
11.
Yeah, 24.
24. All right, so everybody but Felgrim notices as he's saying, like, as he was saying that, like, it's not quite as much as I'd promised. You can see very much like the shame kind of on, like, in his eyes on that, like, that whole, like, he was very much a man who prided himself on keeping deals and bargains and, like, holding up his end of that stuff. So, like, him not being able to do this, it sucks. Like, he's not like, I'm gonna keep my money. It's very much like I can't afford it now. Like, I cannot afford to pay you, because if I pay you, I'm broke, essentially. That's kind of the vibe you guys pick up, especially with the 24. But that doesn't mean that you'll, sorry. That doesn't mean that you'll leave, empty-handed, or at least without cause. We'll, put in whatever word we can with the officials when they arrive. Falcon was sent out last night to, kind of inform the area of, Jackson's death. As much as some of us would rather not, we do actually need to report that for, well, our own safety. So we can, we'll let them know what happened here. So hopefully they'll take what we say at face value and find whatever evidence they can of Jackson not being exactly above the board. And anything that's in the blacksmiths, that's in Amber's old study, you help yourself to. I know, I imagine she didn't give you much of a choice.
Jimvia kind of steps forward. No. But I wish it didn't result in her death. I'm sorry, Harbeck.
You and me both. You and me both.
I was gonna walk over and just put a paw on her back.
She'll be, she will not be buried back at the clan. She will be simply burned and, forgotten. Being, thinking oneself's better than their peers and their family doesn't exactly hold well with us, in our clan at least. But,
She still was your sister, though, Harbeck.
I'm, very much aware of that. Not saying I'm happy about it. But,
And if it's any constellation, I don't know if it will be. She didn't do it out of malice. She just didn't want to be here any longer.
So she did it out of selfishness.
Well, is it selfish to want a different path in your life? By that term, then yes.
I don't know. Maybe if someone else hadn't been selfish and let her live her own life, it wouldn't have came to that. But that's neither here nor there. Excuse me. He gets up and he moves around you, Jinvia, before you can, like, tell him to sit down again. Samael's like, oh, Bick, you must... I know. I need to get outside. Something in here is just smelling off. I don't know what it could be, though. My eyes are... Something's in my eyes. And
Jinvia's gonna follow him out.
He just kind of stumbles out, kind of making his way to the... towards the blacksmith, considering the mill is pretty burned down.
Jinvia's going to kind of like rush up over. Harbeck.
You catch him with no issue. He is not... He is moving slow even by dwarf standards, like...
But yeah, like he hears her holler, and then she catches up, and she kind of like gently places a hand on his shoulder. Harbeck.
Yeah. What can I do for you?
And she kind of just looks at him. Don't blame yourself.
And who else should I blame then? Should I blame Jackson? Should I blame you?
If it would alleviate your pain, then yes, blame it on me.
Is that what you want? You want to carry my burdens? You want to shoulder my grief?
If it would make things easier for you, then yes. That is what a leader does. They carry the burden of their people. They have to be strong for them.
He kind of puts his hand over top yours. I appreciate that. I really do. But I'm not your people. You're not my leader.
No,
And,
but you're my friend, Harbeck.
Oh, shit. Oh. Oh, God. Don't make... Oh. Genevieve... I was an employer. How would I be considered your friend at this point? Hell, I drug you through so much mud now that you may even be wanted. I don't know what kind of friend would do that to somebody.
Just by us meeting, Harbeck. And friends help each other.
Genevieve storm call, was it?
Yes.
You are in for a lifetime of pain. You walk around with that mentality. I do appreciate it. But not everybody you meet is, well, worthy of sympathy or empathy. Take it for somebody who's been around for a little while. But regardless, he kind of looks at your wrist, seeing the bands that Amber had made. Take those off for me.
She kind of looks. These?
Yeah.
And she'll kind of start kind of unbuckling the straps, taking them off, and holding them out to you.
Arbik takes them and is looking at him. See, she would always... No matter how many times I told her, she's not letting the metal get hot enough. It's too cold. She's having to hit it too damn hard. Come on. Grab your friends. I'll be in the smiths. And he just kind of starts walking into the blacksmiths.
Yep.
Yep.
She kind of just watches after him a little bit before kind of just nodding to herself and turning around to head back inside the monastery to go get everybody. Harbeck wanted us to go to the smithy.
Right this second?
Did he say right this second? I'm pretty sure, probably.
Well, the sooner we go, the sooner we can take care of things and then leave.
Yeah, we ain't got much else to do.
Well,
I'm just gonna-
I'm gonna head to the smithy. He took my bracers, so I got to go get them.
All right, now, Sammy, don't lift up anything heavy. I don't want you throwing your back out.
Oh, don't you worry about me. I've been doing this longer than, well, actually, I don't know if longer than you've been around, but regardless, this is my first time having to turn this into a infirmary and back again. Besides,
I'll take your word.
you have enough to worry about without worrying about an old man like myself.
Thank you for all your help, Samael.
Thank you for yours, Nissia. Remember to keep up on that healing.
I will.
And keep adding to that kit as well. Well, looks like it could always use a bit more. He just kind of waves at you all as he kind of goes back to setting things back up.
Well, shall we get going then?
Of course.
Indeed.
And yep, Jivia's gonna turn and head out,
Okay.
heading towards the smithy.
So as you're walking up to the smithy, you see the forge that was unlit is now billowing out smoke. And then as you guys open up the door to walk in, you hear the sounds of clanging on an anvil.
Jinvia's gonna kind of like lean down before walking through the doorway. Harbeck,
Yeah, I'm back here. Ping, ping, ping. You see on the counter, the bracers are now just like the leather. The metal has been kind of undone from it. She had the right idea. She just... Damn, she, like I said, never gets the metal hot enough. Always trying to rush it. That's why these damn ingots looked all wonky. We'll make it right, though.
Bev wants to study the technique.
Okay. Give me. Because are you proficient in smithing or no?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, you're
From Dwarven, yeah.
okay. So go ahead and just give me perception with advantage then, because you would know what to look for with this.
26.
26. So you managed to get around to the counter, just kind of like around the side, and you're watching him work, and you're like, you see exactly what he's doing, and you're watching him as he's like putting the metal into the forge, and he's like slowly rotating it as he goes to kind of make sure it's like an even heating all the way around. You're watching the way he like taps the anvil before he begins, and how he's keeping just like you're watching everything as he goes, and how it's like it looks like he's been like he did this for a while. Like he's had some time working a forge before. He wasn't always just like either warrior or paper pusher. And you guys are watching, and he's hammering it out, and the ingots that were on there, which were just kind of like a iron, are kind of like tossed on a heap to the side as he's like pounding out these new ingots. Most of the things that were in there, as far as the axes are concerned, Amber's armor is no longer there, obviously. But a lot of the axes are now gone, whether from looting or just from people using them. There's still a handful of handles and a handful of heads, and a few axes that are still made, hand axe wise. As you guys kind of look around, but he pounds these things out, and as he quenches them, he begins fastening them back into like the leather where they had been strapped in before. All right. Not really my best work in such a short time period, but I imagine y'all got some better things to do than to stick around here in a one-horse town waiting on the authorities to show up. Unless you want to, of course. He kind of looks at y'all like, do you really want to wait around for the cops? And as he gets these done, he slides them over to you. They're now, the metal is actually lighter now. He's like actually managed to thin it out, and instead of that being that kind of just like raw iron that was on there before, it is now like blackened. After he had like quenched it, he took it over a flame to make sure there were no other cracks in it. And the leather that you had to like cut to like make fit, he's managed to add a bit more, so now there's not this gap here on the arm. It is now one solid piece. So he's made a few little minor adjustments to it, but now your bracers are going to do a +2 instead of a +1.
I gotta kill your sister more often.
Well, was more of the consoling after the fact. Was more of what this is a reward for, not necessarily the killing blows. Still, a little fucked. He's not totally over that stuff, but, you know, her sincerity is what has led to this. So he finishes that, he's like, yeah, got a couple hand axes, I've got a handful of daggers. If y'all want them, I don't know if y'all have use for them. I know he like kind of looks at you, Felgrim. I mean, we've got other quarter staves, unless you're kind of attached to that one.
I can take a look.
He extends his hand out to kind of take a look at yours.
Program hands it over to him.
He looks at it and he kind of like, he's like kind of giving a little bit of pressing, a little plying. You've had this for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, good bit.
You've left it out in the rain a lot, haven't you?
It goes where I go.
You didn't put any lacquer on this thing, do you?
Lacquer. I mean, I got a bunch of liquor.
You notice how you see these little divots, and he kind of starts showing you, and like how your quarterstaff has like been slowly just cracking over time because water just keeps getting into it, and you keep hitting shit with it.
Yeah, it gives it character. It's being used.
Character. Right. Pilgrim, it was, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this in the nicest way I can. He takes it and smashes it on the counter, and it just shatters in half. Like, he doesn't even put a full beans behind it. You just see him like he was just swinging the hammer at the anvil. He does that exact same motion, like, and then he holds up half of it. Well, if you had, you miss an attack in a fight, well, now you're left with, well, a jagged stick.
Well, 2, technically.
He laughs. He's like, I can't with y'all. I just can't. Oh, God damn it. Hang on. Here. And he takes the sticks. He takes both the pieces and just chucks them in the forge. And then walks around to the back. And he comes back around, and he comes back with this just very, like, dark wooded quarterstaff. That it looks like it was going to be made into an axe, like a battle axe handle.
Mm.
And so like it has grips on one side for where the pommel was going to be, and then it kind of slowly like gets a little bit bigger. And it's all right. Here you go. Try that one out. He kind of like holds it out to you.
Brigham picks it up, look at it, feel it.
This thing has a bit more weight to it, or at least it's slightly weighted towards one side, obviously where the strap isn't. But it is also like the leather is cured and very nice. This is like what your quarterstaff might have been like 3 years ago if it hadn't been left outside all the time. And it's got like a nice little sheen to it, like a nice polish to kind of like stop water from getting into it.
Mm. So, well, it's fancy. I like it. And he's holding on the one side and like judging the weight. Just, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that should do you a little bit better than, well, the kindling that you had.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
And then so that's gonna be quarterstaff +1. All right. Does anybody else? I don't. Nissa, Rami. Y'all need anything or?
Personally, I like to make my own weapons.
I can sympathize. He's like, made my own as well. Nissa,
Yes,
anything you require?
I think I'm all set.
He kind of gives you a look like, are you sure?
And she'll hold out her mace for him to look at in case he wants to look at it.
He takes it, and he's just like, oh, okay then. How long have you had this thing?
I've had it for a while. My father gave it to me.
Alright. Bit of sentimental value with it?
Not really. He insisted I have it in case I ever need it to protect myself. I never imagined I'd ever have to use it.
Yeah, it is better one of those have it, not need it, than the other way around. Well, let me see what I can do here. And he goes and he. What does your mace look like? Is it just like a Like, run me through what your mace looks like for me, please.
I imagine it's just a standard mace.
Okay.
With
So he takes it and he pulls the head off. Like, he kind of moves the head from the thing. Yeah, your handle's got a bit of a wobble to it. And he kind of puts on the counter and he rolls it. And if you've ever been at a pool hall and like with a bent pool cue and it kind of does that thing where it's just like boom, 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 that's what your handle does. He's like, yeah, you either been cracking some stuff real hard or just possibly it warped some way. Let me see what I can do. I should have a couple handles around here somewhere. Goes around the back and begins kind of rooting through some stuff. He comes back out. He's like, yeah, this ought to do it. And then he takes it and he kind of refits it. And then he's like looking at the head, kind of making sure it fits. And he pulls it back off. He's like, I had the time to be able to do something here, but I'll give you a quick little upgrade here. And he slots the head on, and as he does, he kind of begins pulling out, securing it to it. And then he kind of pulls out this metal cable and begins wrapping it around the head of the mace. And this metal cable is just straight barbed wire.
Wire mace, what?
And he like attaches it, and then he like kind of puts the head of the mace kind of in the forge a little bit, and then he hammers the barbed wire like flush to the head, so that way it's like attached. There you go.
Thank you. And she's
Sure.
looking at it.
Oh, I'm just waiting for all the skulls. This is gonna be bash it in with that weapon.
That'll
Does
that
this
should be
also do piercing damage?
So your mace now does 1d4 piercing damage as well as for its other hits.
Okay.
I'll homebrew that correction. I will get help from some individuals who may or may not be in this party with me to homebrew.
Regular, but an extra D4.
Yeah, so it'll be a regular one with a D4 added on. So just a spiky. You have a spiky mace now. Yeah. So he looks at you and he's like, "All right, oh, all right, yep. I think I'm gonna go lay back down now. Let me." He kind of like pulls the, the what the heck is that thing even called? The big like pump thing for like forges and shit and
Bellows?
fires. Bellows. Thank you very much. He kind of pulls the bellow free, and then like pulls these big shutters, these like metal grate over like where the forge hole is, and then latches it. All right. I think y'all should probably head on out of here before things start getting too bad. I would lend any sort of horses or anything I could, but well, we're gonna need all that to help kind of rebuild.
That's perfectly fine, Harbeck. You've given us more than enough. Thank you for upgrading my bracers.
Yes, thank you for the upgrades.
Yes.
Real quick though, will I need to liquor this anymore? Or is it gonna be good?
Do not pour whatever the hell is in that gourd on that. It's called lacquer. It's otherwise known as, it's just a sealing agent.
Oh, okay.
If you go into any shop and ask for a wood finish, they're going to be able to give you the same thing.
And when do I need to do that? Is it like every time I use it, or
If it looks dull, or if it starts looking dull, that the
Got
stuff that's on there now should last a little while. You shouldn't have to worry about it. But in the off chance, in case you're just leaving it out in a river or some shit, give it a, when it goes dull, just hit it with some finish, and that'll kind of help keep it from, well, and he kind of points to the forge. Keep it from doing shit like that.
Sounds good. Much appreciated.
Not a problem, not a problem. Alright, I hate goodbyes. Get on out of here. Get.
Before Jinvia leaves, she kind of like extends her hand out to him. Thank you, Harbeck. Until we meet again.
Which hand do you extend out?
Her right hand.
He extends out his left hand and just kind of shakes the back of your hand. It was a pleasure. And I hope next time we meet under happier circumstances.
Jinvia kind of like looks at her hand and is looking at yours. Was that another greeting?
Well, and then once again he holds up the hook hand, which was the one he was like kind of using for the tongs to like for the forge. I didn't imagine you'd want to shake this.
Why not?
It makes some people uneasy.
I wouldn't understand why.
Let's leave it at that.
I think you don't understand a lot of things, my dear. Just have yourself a good day and try to stay out of the rain as best you can.
We'll try our best. Take care, Harbeck. And she leaves.
Okay.
This is following.
So Jinvia looks to Nissa. So, are you going to name your weapon?
I don't think so.
But that's a nice, fine weapon you've got there. It's good if you give it a good, strong name.
I can't think of what I would name it.
Jinvia's kind of like looking at it as they're walking.
I got a name. You can call it Head Smasher. Just pretty real good at that.
Or maybe Porcupine. It reminds me of Porcupine.
Barbie. I fought saying that so long. I was like, don't say it, Paul. Don't say it. Let them throw out some names first before you throw out Barbie.
I can just see Nissa with her freaking mace. Come on, Barbie, let's go party! Whack!
And it's just like the barbed wire just turns into this yellow and the mace is just black, and so it's just like it's a barbed bee. It's a Barbie. What's the problem here? Oh my goodness.
This is so dumb.
It's so dumb. Okay, so while our lovely adventurers figure out where they're gonna head, we are gonna take a quick break right now. So please, if you are not already following the channel and if you are enjoying the show, please make sure you hit that heart. If you are subbed, you do have the ability to give away a luck and give away inspiration. So if you've not already done so, please think about throwing that up there in the chat. And we'll be back in let's say 5 minutes. See you soon. This is the problem. This is the problem. I'm trying to
This
be a
is
good.
why- This is why I am the way I am.
Well, no, that's a bad.
The queen.
Well, no, because I had a
I
bunch
do
of
not
stuff
I
over
do
the Zoom
not
call.
Take credit for that. That's
Oh,
not me. I
Welcome
don't-
back, everybody, to Legends of Noia. If you guys are enjoying the show, please, once again, make sure you hit that little heart at the bottom of the screen. Doesn't cost you a single dime to do, and it helps out the channel a whole lot. You guys can sub right here by also hitting that little heart. And I want to say thank you to our sponsors, Plus One Crafting,
Barkley
ooh,
Garage.
Barkley Garage, and then Epidemic Sounds. And then also we have a some of the maps are made by 2 minute table or 2 minutes
Tabletop.
2 minute tabletop. Sorry. I put it in there and I even forgot. So some of the maps, not this one, but some of the maps in the future, or say this one, in the future will be made we'll be using the maps from 2 minute tabletop. So go over there, show them support. They do have map packs that you can buy or some free stuff that you just by donating. So it's all done by one artist and it's wild. But I digress. Let's get back into it. So the adventurers leave the smithy. Most of them with upgraded goodies, minus Bev, who little bit like I want to make my own stuff, which is respectable.
I mean,
Hey,
I've never
look,
been in a
you-
campaign where I had that option before.
Hey, you played your game. Hey, you played your character, and I commend you on that. Turning down a master crafter to make your own,
-1 dagger.
I make my own dagger. You forgot. You hammered it out into a dagger. You never took it to the grindstone to sharpen it, so it's dull. Like you have a.
I've
Yeah,
been
but-
watching Forged in Fire, so I'm like a master now. I know how to quench. I know how to heat it up. I don't know if Bev knows all that, but we're just going.
Anyway,
Bet stacks. Make a dagger. Do it.
anyway,
No, I don't have the supplies.
anyway. What are you guys doing?
So Genvia's kind of gonna like turn to the group, kind of like holding her hand over her eyes because of the rain coming down. So are we heading north?
It would seem so.
No, it sounds good to me.
Yes. We'll see what we come across along the way.
Okay, so by this point, it's probably getting close to about midday when you guys set out. What is the what's the marching order here?
Genvia's first.
Is she though?
She is.
Okay. So Jinvia, since you are in the lead and you're taking lead on this, go ahead and roll me. Hang on, let me pull my table up. Yes, Paul made an encounter table. Mm-hmm.
Should I be scared?
I mean, it depends.
Hmm.
Just depends on some things and stuff.
Hmm.
Go ahead and roll me a d10, please.
A D10.
DM for the coffee, it's a D what? How many amounts of servings? Would you say I would have to roll?
I would say you would have. I mean, it's a pound of coffee, so I'm trying to think like how much would a
I rolled a 10, DM.
10. Okay, check that. We'll say out of a pound to make a pot of coffee. God, I'm trying to like apply real world math and shit, and I'm like blanking on how
One
much.
scoop.
Well, it's one scoop, but I'm trying to think weights. You get 12 uses out of the pound. You'll get 12 pots of coffee out of it. And one pot will do, we'll say 4 cups. Well, 4 cups of strong or 8 cups of like a medium. All right, you said you rolled a 10, right? Okay. So as you guys are walking, you hear in the distance this just giant roar of a Tarask. I'm kidding.
Fluffy!
I love how, like, Queen's like this and everybody else is like, the fuck? No, so you guys are making your way north, and as you guys are, we are just gonna drag y'all over here to, like, the map. So as you guys are moving north, oh man, we have a lot. Oh, I haven't been on this page in a minute. We have a lot of old images. Let's delete all those real quick. So yeah, you guys leave going north out of Oak Creek. And as you guys do, you said you guys are heading northwest, correct?
Yep.
So are you trying to go into Fax, or are you trying to go around Fax?
What is Fax? City, town?
Fax is one of the major cities in Volzarm.
How many days would it take us to get to Fax?
From where you guys are, I would say probably, like, on foot the way it is, I'd say it would probably take you about 2.5 days of traveling on foot.
Probably could stop in Fax if it's.
Actually, that doesn't
longer.
That doesn't make sense, because to get from Dalworth to Oak Creek did not take that long, and neither did Snowharp. So it'd probably be closer to about a day and a half.
I mean, we don't know
forgot the
what
scale.
the time period of when we got to Oak Creek is.
Well, I just know that Jinvia was real hurt, and Nissa did go with horse or donkey, mule and carriage.
We
So.
forgot the donkey. No, you said,
no.
It went back, right?
Yeah,
Like,
they sent that
Okay.
back. But yeah, so on foot, yeah, we'll stick with what I said. About 2.5 days on foot.
Okay. Is that fine? We'll head to Fax.
That's fine. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, we're going on an adventure. This is great.
Okay. So as you guys are walking, with that 10, excuse me, I'm talking. With that 10, you guys do manage to get there. Not too much happens. However, it does start to rain pretty heavily, and you guys lose about half a day's worth of travel. So you still have, at the end of the first day, you still have about 2 days worth of travel.
Genvia's just in her glory in this heavy rain.
Heavy
I'm
rain,
missing from Talos.
Velcro, how do you keep your fur?
very
not wet?
muddy boots.
Ugh. I don't. Suffered over here. Hate the freaking rain.
I think
But
that's
why? Rain brings life.
It makes me wet. It soaks my fur. Makes everything heavier. Water in general is disgusting. Unless, yeah, I stand by that. It's all disgusting. Water's gross.
But don't you need water to live?
No, all I need is my baby right here. Ain't that right, girl? Yeah.
It's a girl?
What are you talking about?
She's just like pointing to the flask or gourd.
That's a gourd.
Yeah.
It's an inanimate object. What do you? You're a girl.
But
This is a girl.
you called your gourd. Never mind.
Jinvia, do you come from a literal sort of people?
Yes, we're pretty straightforward.
These ones are
So-
all crazy.
When I ask your father to marry you, I should go directly to him and just throw it out there.
Do you want to marry me?
Yeah, sure.
Whoa! What? What?
Don't worry,
Roll
Pilgrim, you're in the list as
persuasion?
well. I mean, it's a fairly broad list.
Anyone who wants to roll insight can.
I got a 7.
Jinvia, you full on believe him that he wants to marry you.
I got 12.
Okay,
I got a 10.
you got a 10. Are you trying to actually propose right now?
I'm trying to keep my options open.
Roll me a persuasion to try to make it sound like you're being serious.
Okay. 14.
You all believe that he's that this isn't a proposal, but he is very much like down to marry Jinvia.
Oh, Bev, no. So much wrong here. One, she's a princess. Two,
I'm
dude,
not
Make me like a
princess, I am
prince.
chieftain's daughter.
close enough. She is a giant dog. That's like 4 times your height. You just
Yeah, that's
met.
exactly my type.
No, oh god, oh god. Oh, you see what I have to deal with here? Oh my God.
Bev Romrey, I am flattered by your interest, but I would like to get to know you a bit better first.
Okay, I'll add that to my list. Just
At least someone has reason in this group. Oh my god.
get to know Bev.
At least it's not like a Disney thing where it's like, oh, they just met, let's get married. Like,
Yeah.
Jinvia, heart, simple, shapy, smiley face.
Oh.
And then you know what you must do if I do accept your proposal.
Be at the wedding?
No, you must prove yourself to my father.
What do you mean?
You
Just
must
tell me
fight
it's-
him in hand-to-hand
Yes.
combat.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Is he
get
as tall
wrecked.
as you?
He's actually a bit taller than me myself.
Is it like, just a regular fight?
Oh no, it's a full-on fight.
Bev,
When
you
do
can
we
go
stop?
ahead. Bev, you can go ahead and give me roll a history check.
Oh gosh.
I mean, you are from that, roughly from that region.
Oh, it's a 7.
It's a 7. You have heard of these rites before? The rites of marriage? The tales you know are of would-be suitors leaving with broken bones.
So all those tales are real.
Yes?
Oh my goodness. Is your dad old? Like, do I have a fighting chance? Or does he
is
fight
the-
like you?
He is the chief of my people. He's very strong.
Bev,
The
He's
power of
stronger
Talos
than
is strong
you.
with him.
Stronger than
He's-
you, or like
Bev.
on par with you?
I would like
He's
to
a-
say he's a bit stronger than myself, yes?
he's a giant. You're a dwarf. All he has to do is kick you and you're gonna roll down the mountain.
It's easy, Felgrim. You just don't get kicked.
It's not always
Says
that
the guy
easy.
who's been getting his ass handed to him. The past few
Dad
sessions.
is bigger and stronger.
Introduce Bev to the clan chief Stormclaw.
By the time I meet your father, Jinvia, I will be ready to propose.
Weird. All of a sudden, you guys start heading northeast instead of northwest. Jinvia gets turned around. She's not from here.
No
Like-
survival check. I'm looking at Prince. We are going the wrong way. The moss says this way.
And as you crest the mountains of Snowharf, all right. All right, so that's day 1. Actually, so as you guys begin to, start getting closer to the end of the night, a little bit of the rain is stopped for the most part. It's now down to a very kind of faint drizzle. That's not the one I wanted. That is not at all the one I wanted. I need to get more music. I need to get more of the music. You guys...
Epidemic sound.
I know, use epidemic sounds.
But only if you look for it.
You guys discover a small camp being set up.
By not us?
Nope.
Can Jinvia kind of see
Mm-hmm.
what exactly is going on? How many are there people there? What's
What is everybody give me perception checks.
14?
15.
Okay.
17.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
What did Pilgrim say?
Yeah.
Oh, 6.
I was like,
I was muted because my daughter.
you're good. You're good. Like, dramatic effect.
I was like, is everybody waiting on me?
So, Felgrim, you are listening to the gourd during this, but all of you see, like, the fire, because like I said, the sun is beginning to set, and you see a fire starting up. Nissa, with your role, you are able to see that there are a couple humanoids figures kind of sitting around the fire. Everybody can hear a little bit of talking and, a bit of laughter here and there. Nissa, you also notice that there is a hound of some sort there as well, who, as you guys have begun to approach, has not appeared to notice you guys yet. You guys are still about 60 feet out.
There seems to be some people ahead, and they have a dog.
Its ear did twitch as you guys got, like, to the 60. Its ears kind of went like, whoop, but it's still laying down, not looking at y'all.
Well, then let's go say hello.
We'll continue this discussion of Bev's proposal later. Let's go.
So Jinvia is going to kind of walk up and kind of like holler out, "Good evening."
Okay, one moment.
Felgrim's just gonna like follow along, but he's gonna try and stay back away, like enough to like not be noticed, but also hear what's going on.
Mm-hmm. So, as you guys are there, you see, you guys are coming in from the bottom of this, by the way, the south side. Do you want to move your characters there? It looks so awkward. Like, size-wise. Sorry, I gotta move them out here, and... and this one. All right. So, as you guys approach, you notice as all 4 of these individuals immediately jump up to their feet. Luck to Bev and inspo to Nissa. Thank you, Lady Liv. So as you guys, so as Jinvia kind of walks in, is like, hello! The people jump to their feet. The dog's immediately like up and kind of like closes the gap a little bit towards you, like very much like teeth bared, like. Argh!
As Jinvia is walking up, like she has her hands out. She's not reaching for her weapon or anything like that. Keeping it very kind of like nonchalant, calm.
Oh hey, how you guys doing out here in the middle of the woods? Hi. Yeah. So you guys walk up. Is anybody else doing anything? Or Felgrim, you said you're kind of trying to stealth?
Yeah, just trying to hang back,
All
not
right.
be noticed.
Okay, go ahead, roll me. If you guys are walking up with her, that's fine. If you guys are trying to stay back and kind of stay hidden, go ahead, roll me a stealth check.
17 plus 6, so it's 20 something.
23.
Yeah, that one.
Math is hard.
Yeah, it's so hard. It really is.
Anybody else trying to stealth?
Nissa
Okay.
is walking up with Jinvia, but she's being cautious.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys begin walking up. The dog is very, like, looking at you guys, kind of, especially Torque on the shoulder. Ears are kind of like, kind of going back and doing a bit of a growl. That's far enough.
Jinvia's kind of like looking like, oh, okay. She kind of just stands there.
Who are you? Excuse me.
Jinvia kind of like bows slightly. I am Jinvia Stormcall. And you all are?
They all look at each other. Now that you guys are kind of in the light where the fire is, you can see that there are... you have these two in the green are both humans. The one in the blue, the one who's addressing you, is a black dragonborn. And then the one in the back looks to be a elf of some kind. Yeah. No. Yeah, who are your friends?
Oh, well, this is Bev Romrey. She kind of like puts her hand on Bev's head. And over here is my friend Nissa.
Right.
Swear to God, she tells him I'm here.
Right. Okay. Well, what are y'all doing out here?
We're simply traveling, making our way towards the city of... I had the map out just now. Hold on. Facts. That, yeah. To the city of Facts.
Uh-huh. Where'd you say you were coming from?
We didn't, but we were coming from Oak Creek.
And you see him kind of like look up, like he's like trying to like visualize the map in his head of like, okay, wait, we're here, Fax is here, Oak Creek's here.
Southeast.
You mind doing me a favor?
Depends on the favor.
Take a look at this. And as he does, he snaps his fingers and he casts sunlight directly in front of you guys.
Oh, that's bright.
Jimmy kind of squints a bit. Well, that's definitely bright.
It's very bright.
Is Felgrim still hidden?
You were like behind some trees and stuff. They're not. They are solely focused on these three. The other three people, like two of them have bows out and at the ready. The other one kind of has a blade out. He's like, "Oh, I am so." Snaps his fingers and the sunlight goes away. I'm sorry. We're okay. That probably came off as super rude. Kind of thought you were vampires.
Vampires?
Why would you think we were vampires?
Great, they're idiots like Clive and Billy.
Well, okay. We're out here hunting vampires because of some attacks that have been happening in the local area. And then 3 random strangers walk up on our camp claiming to be friendly. You gotta understand
we are friendly.
Yeah, but I don't recognize that accent, and it's kind of I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd rather be safe than sorry, and I do apologize. Let me introduce.
That's probably because I am not from here. I am from the Republic of Stone. I am from Snowhearth.
I have no idea where that is. I know Republic of Stone. I have no idea where Snowharf is. Regardless, I apologize for blinding you guys. Kind of just a thing to see if you guys would be hurt by the sunlight. I apologize. My name is Cal. He points to, and this is the Dragonborn. He points to the elf. That is, God, what name did I give him? Oh, that is Leo. Then he points to the two humans. And that is, Robbie and... God, what did I say the other name was? I'm, like, looking through my names. I've got, like, names written down, and I can't remember which one I put for where. Yeah, that was Robbie, and then, Craig.
Both male.
Yeah, all of them are male.
And your dog companion. What is his name?
Oh, that's Spike. Spike is still very much like kind of tensed up. And then Cal just looks at him. And the dog just immediately is like bloop, like sits down, like ears go like from back to whoop.
Jimmy kind of looks to Cal. May I pet him?
Yes.
Jinvia then will kind of walk over, kind of get down on one knee, and kind of hold out her hand to Spike. Hello, Spike.
And Spike sniffs your hand for a little bit. Give me animal handling, please.
That's a 23.
So you come up and you kind of put your hand like to the back to like let him sniff, and he kind of like does a sniff and is like, and then immediately starts like licking your hand.
Oh, so good boy. He's like scratching his head, scratching behind his ears.
Cal is just doing this. I pay for a vicious attack dog, and this is what I get.
Hate to state the obvious, but had we been vampires, how would this have gone?
Well, the sunlight probably would have hurt you. They would have put those 2 silver arrows through your chest. And he pointing at the humans, and then he would have bound you in vines, pointing at the elf over his shoulder.
Oh, okay. So, it's getting late, Jinvia. We might want to leave these nice vampire hunters to themselves and go find our own camping spot.
Well, hold on. Let me apologize. Would you guys like to eat, drink?
Sure, we could probably stay for a little bit.
Because, kind of want to pick your brain about what you guys might have seen out here. Because we've been out here for a few days, and we're kind of running short on leads.
Well, what would you like to know?
Well, come on. We ain't gotta yell about it. And then he kind of gestures over to the table, and a couple of the guys like pull out some more kind of stools and stuff. And,
Jimmy's gonna walk in.
Yep. So everybody just kind of
Nissa's gonna approach, but she's very hesitant.
the dog just kind of like plops down.
Felgrim's gonna stealth his way through the trees towards that way.
Towards what way?
Shit, I forgot to do this. This way? Yeah, that way.
Okay. Go ahead. Give me another stealth check.
It's 21.
You're good. So yeah, you stealth over there, no problem. The dog seems to not be paying any mind.
So what exactly did you want to find out?
Oh, well, it's pretty easy stuff actually. And he kind of goes and he starts pouring. He pulls out just a bottle of wine and just uncorks it and starts pouring into these glasses. Recorks it. Well, we are just trying to get some more information on the local area. We kind of got word that there's a couple people that were killed up here. Had very vampire-like symptoms as far as throats ripped out, missing a lot of blood. We also had reports of missing cattle in the area, so
Would
kind of,
Genvia kind of like know what vampires are? Like what?
you know them as far as fairy tales.
Okay.
You would know, where you're at, there's not really, like, you've heard stories of vampires, but you would, in the very similar way of, like, the chupacabra, you assume it's just all made up.
She is, like, all, like, oh my gosh.
But if
Her
anybody
journal
else,
is out. Her
Oh,
journal
yeah.
is out. And
but
she's
if
just
anybody else wants to make, like, either a history or, we'll say a history check.
15.
9.
Okay.
21.
Okay, so, Belgrim, you being kind of like a wanderer over the last little bit, you're not really sure, like, you know of vampires, like, it's one of those things, it's like, oh yeah, there's werewolves and vampires, and like, ooh, so scary. But as far as Bev, and especially you, Nissa, being more from this area, you know that there have been, like, vampires in this area before. Like, there have been reports throughout, throughout time that there have been, like, little vampires setting up shop out there in the woods just outside of the city, catching travelers on their way in and out. Most of it has been... It's been a while since anything has been heard. And most of the time, like, it's, you find out about it afterwards, like, after the vampire has been taken down. It's like, oh, we found a vampire! Like, that's how you guys would know most of the stories, but it is still one of those things that, did we get all of them? Are all the vampires gone? Especially you, Nissa, having a brother who's kind of a jerk. Would be like, oh, you better not stay out in the fields too long. Kind of shit. And Bev, you were just told it more as a, like, hey, they're out here. There might be more. Don't wander.
But yeah, Genvia is just like, tell me more about these vampires. I only thought they were fairy tales.
No, they're very much real. They are, well, there's a lot of different myths versus, and Velgrim, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Uh, 23.
Cool. You're hearing all this, no problem. So it's like, no, these are real. Like, they, there's a few different types.
Do they have the pointy teeth, or are they all pointy, or is it just the two canines?
The fangs, yes, there are fangs. They're not all. It's not just like a mouth of razor blades. It's they'll normally have about two. They normally have two fangs, but they are sometimes, depending on the story and the type, sometimes they're a bit more subtle. Some can extend them. If it's a vampire, if it's a thrall. Thralls
so there's different types?
Well, yeah, so you have like your main, you have like your vampire lord, master, whatever you want to kind of call it, kind of like the head honcho. He or she, I guess, and I don't want to be sexist, sorry, but I mean, they are essentially the one who's kind of like started that coven or that group. And then you'd have like your kind of normal vampires who are turned a certain way, and then you have thralls, which are kind of like vampire, like, that were bit and buried and then kind of came back as kind of like a pseudo undead. They kind of follow the orders directly of the vampire that turned them.
Interesting.
So you have like, yeah, so it's kind of like hierarchy. Your thralls are kind of like, to put in goblin terms, because a lot more people understand goblins. You have goblins, hobgoblins, orcs. Just kind of put it in perspective as far as like tier listing goes. I don't know if you've all fought goblins before. Nothing going around.
No.
No. All right. Well, that didn't help anybody then. All right. Sorry. Getting a little frazzled. I didn't actually think to see anybody out here, and to be honest with you, I kind of thought we were about to fight to the death.
Hold that thought, Carl. Bev's gonna cast guidance on Torque and kind of tell him just fly around, let us know if you see anything, and then head back. Pretty simple. If you see our buddy, let him know we're here. If you don't, just come back.
He gives you a
God
look.
damn it.
Buddy?
Yeah, we have a friend out in the woods somewhere.
This son of a bitch.
I wouldn't have him wandering by himself, like I said.
Well,
No,
Torque here should be able to.
Should be like cups
hopefully
her head.
locate him.
Felgrim, you don't want to be out there by yourself. Come
I
on
don't
over.
know if he can hear you,
Son of a
Genvia.
God. Should we go?
A few-
Recast guidance on Torque because it's only a minute. And then
Okay.
send him up.
All right.
Shinya,
So, yeah.
I don't know if shouting in the middle of the woods is the best idea, especially if there are vampires about. We
But
wouldn't
Felgrim
want,
needs to know that there's danger.
but not by shouting. If there are vampires, I wouldn't want to attract their attention.
Well, I mean, we have vampire hunters with us. We should be okay.
But
Speaking
there's-
of which, have y'all actually killed any vampires?
Well, I haven't killed. Well, let me rephrase this. I've killed a few thrall, and Robbie. Goddamn, I forgot their names already. Robbie and Craig.
Robbie and Greg.
Yeah, I'm blanking on what I named the elf now.
Leo.
Leo.
Leo, that's what it was. I was like, it's something with an L. Leo here has, well, he's killed a vampire. They were raiding his village. It was a shit show. But our human friends over there, Robbie and Craig, they are new. They kind of got brought on for this.
Okay, so
We have a little bit of experience. Like, I get it. I get it. We are not what you would expect. We are kind of a ragtag, but hey, everybody's got to start somewhere, right?
oh no, ragtag groups can work. I mean, in some manners, we're a ragtag group, sort of, kind of, right? Nissa?
Yep.
I suppose so.
Is Felgrim coming out of the woods?
Can I do a perception check? Falcon just wants to. He's gonna look around, like away from the camp real quick, and then he's gonna come in
Okay.
just to make sure there's still no one around.
Go ahead.
Where's my perception? That's a 10.
You don't think anyone's around.
He's gonna saunter on in.
As you do, Spike sees you and immediately goes back into attack mode.
Oh, calm down, dog. You don't want none of this. We'll rip your face off.
all the people there immediately look at you, like the two humans, bows at the ready.
Oh, y'all want to go too?
That's our friend Felgrim.
As soon as it happens, like the two humans like release the bow, and Cal just looks at him like, "Not really a big people person, are you?" Looks over the dog, and the dog relaxes.
People haven't really been kind to us lately, so yeah. I just wanted to make sure.
Oh yeah, I get it. I don't think we have one of the guys kind of like just grabs a box and kind of brings it over for you to sit on.
So I'm just gonna sit on it.
All right.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, yeah, there's a few different types of vampires out here. You know, most of the time you'll see them, they're like, they're kind of like, they're really just disgusting looking, they're just, like, yeah, they're like, their teeth are like starting to rot, and their like, they're kind of like creepy and gangly. Some of them are losing their hair.
Bev's like looking at his teeth as he's talking.
Well, Dragmore's got some nice teeth. His teeth are alright. They are not the vampires, if you're wondering. Like, the sunlight would have fucked them up there. Like, that would have.
I mean, I don't know what the range on this sunlight thing is.
Sunlight?
We were
I'm
point blank.
Well, it's like, I forget the spell now off the top of my head because I just clicked away from it, but it's like daylight or it's one of those, like, it's just a fucking orb of like daylight for a good bit away. But yeah, so he's talking, he's describing these things, and as he's talking about them, he's describing them in like their most grotesque form. Straight up out of like some grim fairy tale kind of stuff.
Wait, so why did you think we were vampires?
Well, I mean, I couldn't get a real good look at you, and you just strolled up on the camp, and if you were vampires, not a bad idea to just, oh, look, there's hunters. Let me just sneak up on them. Or lure them.
You couldn't tell that they weren't as disgusting as you're describing?
Well, I mean, they might not have been.
Wondering about my appearance.
Well, I mean, it's not. They sometimes have magic to like prestidigitation and all that other stuff. Look, I don't know. All right, I got nervous. You might have just been bandits, okay? Like, you still might, but at the same time, I feel bad for blinding you.
Don't blind me.
Well, I didn't know you existed until about 5 minutes ago. Belgrum?
That was the point.
Because they yelled your name a few times?
Yeah, freaking terrible people. What's the point of stealthing around if you're gonna yell their freaking name?
Well, considering we're having a nice chat here, if you stayed out there too long...
I was listening.
Well, it's still a bit weird if you did end up showing back in camp and we knew of your existence this whole time.
It would have been epic. Come on. So hilarious.
Well,
I think our definitions of epic are
A
still
big old prank. Come on.
we could use a little bit more help out here.
to hunt
If-
vampires?
Well, you guys don't actually have to hunt them, but I mean, if you guys are out and about and you happen to find some information, you can give us a lead on where they are. You might find some place where they're held up.
And how would we communicate this to you?
Well, I mean, our
Not
camp's going to be here. We kind of localize the camp and then we leave out and kind of move around.
Oh, so you want
So-
us to double back and let you know.
We could make it worth your while.
Define worth our while.
He just puts a big smile on. Ah, businessman. I like it. All right. How
I mean, I'm a
does...
dwarf. I got small feet.
If you,
Lot of steps.
Bev,
If-
when did you own a business?
When
Expression. It's an expression.
Well, let's say if you guys have some information that does lead us to them, we'll say 5 gold each.
I mean, I'd rather be paid in silver equivalents, if you know what I'm saying.
One of the elf just kind of like just I get that joke. Cal just looks at him like, oh, God. Regardless,
Julia's looking there. Her expression is blank.
regardless,
Isn't gold better than silver, Bev?
Not
If-
if it's the same amount, but in different.
if
What's
you
the difference between 1 gold and 10 silver? Plus,
the
it would leave
silver-
more room in your coin purse.
Oh,
Would it not?
Most vampires don't like silver, so if I had a
She's
high
kind of like
amount
putting. She's thinking as Bev's talking, and it finally clicks. Oh, it was a joke. I get it.
Yeah.
I think Paul's done with my shit.
no, that's Cal. Cal does this. Cal is like,
Hey, Cal's got
Mhm.
batting guys on his side as well. I'm sure he's used to these.
oh, he is, and that's why he's like, God damn it, they're everywhere. Well, all right. 5 gold or 50 silver, however you want to phrase it, for some information. Now, if you get some proof that they're actually there, say about 15 gold.
If you
Do-
kill a vampire, is there anything that remains?
Well, yeah. Typically, the skulls will remain intact if you kill it. If you wound it, it can, like, do some vanishing stuff, but the heads will stay intact if you remove those. So if you manage to do that, well, if you allow us to take the credit, we'll give you our entire bounty. Which was
is the 50 silver.
100 gold each.
Why would you hand that over?
Because then we get to say that we killed the vampire, which then opens up more jobs.
okay. I get that. I get it. Business aspect. But wouldn't you want the experience of killing the vampire
Oh,
so
don't,
that when you get those
don't-
other jobs?
don't get me wrong. I would love nothing more than to slay these foul creatures from the face of Noia. But if you guys happen to do it while you are gathering information, then,
Sure
you
does.
know, it could be worth your while.
Falcon looks over at Bev. Well, I don't see any real issue in that. I guess if it's just info, we could always send Torque to give the info to him instead of having to double all the way back.
I think you have a lot more faith in Torque than most of us.
Torque lands back down and kind of like, he like, kind of like hits your ear.
Yep, found him, bud.
Oh, he was just flying overhead. He was like, he saw him and was like, okay.
Get this kid, this
Whoa.
lovely
Ugh.
creature, a freaking helm of intellect.
Either way, this
It'd
conversation.
have to be, it'd have to be so tiny.
We'll agree. Fuck it, it's gold. Why not?
Excellent. Excellent. Love to hear it. Well, feel free to eat. We got in. They start they've been like pulling out rations and stuff. So there's like bits of jerky, bits of bread, bits of fruit, like dried fruit, stuff like that. General ration kind of stuff. Please feel free to eat. Feel free to sleep if you'd like. We're gonna be making move at first light. We're gonna be heading up to the east. So if you guys are heading northwest, like you said, that's perfect because we haven't really began searching that area yet.
Sounds like a plan.
Perfect.
India, this up. Haven't heard much from you. What do you guys think?
I am down for helping, of course.
Nissa,
Yes.
you down to christen that mace and smash some vampire heads?
If I must.
Did we settle on a name for your new weapon?
I don't want to name the weapon.
Cal's just looking at you guys like, okay. Well then, everybody's good with it. Then I think we got a deal. I look forward to hearing any news tomorrow. But like I said, please enjoy. I'm gonna turn in for the night personally. And he just kind of gives you a little salute, and then he kind of, as he's walking to his tent, he just kind of gives a little whistle to the dog, and the dog kind of plops down outside of his tent door and just kind of sits there and is like looking around like, oh.
Judvia kind of like leans over to Nissa. Spike is really cute, don't you think?
Yes. He's very cute.
I wish I had a pet growing up.
Do they not have pets where you're from?
No. Most of the animals we have are for, well, more practical use.
Practical use?
So, you know, horses, they pull carriages. She kind of shudders a bit. Goats, we get for their furs, their milk, and their meat.
I don't
You know.
what part of that she shuddered for.
Jinvia's getting flashbacks of Baba Brown Sheep, or Braba Brown Goat.
But yes, father never let me have pet, especially in the in our home. He was always thought, you know, animals are dirty.
You hear off in the distance. Because they are! Vampire! Okay. So. Oh, yeah.
Did that come from like outside the camp?
No, that was a joke. That wasn't a thing.
Okay, I just want to make sure like
That was
there was a long awkward pause. He was like, okay, I was like,
So, what do you guys want to do? The other kind of hunters are just kind of keeping to themselves, you know, playing cards.
Do you want to stay here tonight? Or
Well, I say the more the merrier, especially with vampires about.
if there are vampires, then yeah, more people would be better.
They
than
said that
less.
there were vampires. There's no
No.
ifs.
No, there are vampires in the world. Yes, they said they are investigating vampires,
But
clues and stuff.
But they
They-
told us the clues. They said the throats were ripped out, the blood was drained. I'm pretty sure those are all signs of vampire attacks.
But I'm sure there's other creatures that could do that.
Are
Any
there other
oth-
creatures? Bear,
Just
are
tell
there,
me about that.
are there any other creatures that can do that besides vampires?
I mean, yes, if any of those foul creatures get close enough. I mean, you saw what happened back at the mill. Those weren't vampires.
But blood was not drained from bodies.
I mean, that's probably a trademark vampire tactic, but I wouldn't say
They
it's
said
impossible.
the victims were drained of blood. Therefore, vampires. Unless there is other beasts that can do that.
Humans can. It's not hard to drain a body of blood. You just have to know where to do it. Either way, if we come under attack by anything, more people is better than less. Let's leave it at that.
I just want that clipped out, just out of context. It's not that hard to drain a body of blood. Things taken.
Something
Dungeon
does
mechanics
work.
out of context.
That Felgrim's gonna walk to the edge of the camp and he's just gonna sit watch.
Something has me worried about what he was saying, though. For them
What
to
is-
just hand over their bounty to us for fame, just strike you as odd.
It does a
Perhaps-
bit.
Give me an insight check.
That's a 4.
13.
17.
Did I say insight?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, as Bev is saying this, Nissa, you're like looking around and you see the 3 other hunters and they look okay. Their clothes are pretty clean, their weapons look pretty well tended to. You remember looking at Cal, and Cal was also pretty clean, pretty well groomed, weapons looked all right. And as you begin to look around, the camp looks pretty well stocked. All the things that are there, like the carriages, all have like the same logo on them. The tent has the same logo. You kind of get the feeling that whoever has funded this, which based on the fact that there's a big K with a dragon head around it, which is the logo. Sorry, I probably should have mentioned that. You imagine that Cal set this whole little expedition up, and based on all this, it looks like he's pretty well off. Like he's not doing this for money.
I get the feeling that he's not doing this for money.
Why'd you say that?
If you look around, everything here is pretty well stocked. Their weapons are fairly clean. Everyone's dressed pretty well off. It doesn't look like they're for need of money.
Perhaps who
Oh.
hired them gave them the supplies they needed.
Bev, you look around, and as Nis is saying all this, you being somebody who was a part of like hunting parties and like used to being out in the woods for like days and weeks at a time, you look at them and you're like, oh shit. Like as these guys are playing cards, you're looking and you're like, oh, those are soft hands. Those are not dirty outdoorsy hands. These are guys who, like, they might know how to fight, they might know how to do things, but these are not like fortified, well-trained like mercenaries. This is essentially a trophy hunt.
This isn't any good.
Genvia kind of looks over to Bev. What isn't good?
Well, taking into account if these guys are green, not physically Genvia, green as in they don't have any experience in fighting. If we do come across a vampire and they lay claim to it and they start to get business from it, more jobs related to it, we could very well be sending them to their death.
Jinvia thinks for a moment. You're right. Well then, what should we do?
Is
Well-
Felgrim close enough to hear this? Or is he
Has
too
he-
far out?
I'd say you are. There, where everybody is right now is not quite correct. Like
Because
they
we-
moved kind of over there to like play
Mhm.
cards, and everybody else is still kind of at the table.
Because we
Right.
can't very well just let vampires stroll freely and attack people.
Yes, I'm fully down for killing vampires. But, while the money might be nice, I'd rather, not knowingly send someone down a road that might ultimately get them killed.
So we take care of vampires. We take credit. That way they don't get credit and they don't get jobs and they're safe.
I don't know if that's the case either. We did sort of do a gentleman's agreement, which means, I don't know. There might be another way to get both parties benefits.
I knew there was something fishy the way they were talking about all this.
Well, we did say we would start in morning. Maybe perhaps we talk with Cal and try to make a new gentleman's agreement.
Yes. Essentially.
Cal!
He might be asleep, Genevieve.
Oh, that's right. He went into tent. I forgot.
Dinvia, you really should stop shouting.
Oh my god, this one.
Oh, Jimmy, kind of just like rubs the back of her head, like laughing a bit nervously. Sorry.
I know one thing's for sure.
What is that, Bev?
We are not leaving those guys to do watch if we stay here.
I will take first watch.
I will take second.
Felgrim turns behind him like, you guys know I'm already watching, right?
I will
Oh, I
take
thought you were
third.
just drinking your drink from gourd.
I mean, always, but I can do other things at the same time. Like watch.
Luck
I don't
to
know,
Nissa
normally you-
and Inspo to Bevrami.
Because you drink from gourd, you normally fall asleep.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're always gonna fall asleep at some point. But why do you think I sleep so much in the daytime? So I can stay awake at night. That's when the party scene happens. There's not-
Can I roll insight to see if he's just bullshitting me?
Go for it. Felgrim, either roll me.
She believes you. She believes you. I got a 6.
Just for shits and giggles, either roll me deception or persuasion, whichever you wish to do there. Just to see. Just to see.
They're the same. Yeah, that's a fucking 21. So for either one.
I had a feeling, but it was like, there's always that chance. There's always that chance of a nat
Yeah.
one, and it'd be like Jimmy was like, I'm not good at reading people, but even I see that's bullshit. Like, yeah, you totally believe him. You're like, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah,
like,
that's- You're right, Falcon. Now that I think about it, it does make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Right. So I'm continuing my watch. You guys want to?
And then I will take
Whatever.
second watch. So please wake me up when it is my time, Falcon.
I will take
Okay.
third watch.
And I'll take fourth watch if it's needed.
okay. So, anything anything else you guys are doing before bunking down for the rest of the night?
Nope. This is just heading to bed.
Okay.
I think Jinvia is gonna call Daddy Dearest
Oh.
and check up on him.
All right. Before we get to that, Bev, are you doing anything?
He probably, since we traveled all day, he'll probably just eat something, him and Torque, and then try and get some sleep before it's his shift.
Okay. All right. So, Jinvia, what are you saying to your Fasha?
So Jinvia is going to pull out the the little orb out of her bag. And she's going to say, hello, Father. I'm well. Hope you're well as well. So I wish I could talk to you face to face. I did something. That's all she's gonna say. Because I think that's like, what, 20 words?
I believe, yeah, I think it's like 20, 25 words. Can't remember now off the top of my
Yeah.
head. I'd have to pull it up. You wait a moment. 25. Thank you, Blue Joy. So you wait a moment. Wait another moment. And then you just hear back. Oh, my little flower. It's so good to hear from you again. I think his voice changed last time, because last time it was just more of, it is great to hear from you again. I know things are odd, and you are the being grown woman, and look, I'm not going to say I'm happy if you've already chosen a mate, if that is what we're talking about. Love is a very... He still doesn't understand how it works.
Oh, wait, the orb has 2 charges!
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna use it again.
Okay.
Not love, Father. I killed somebody. One of the Red Baron's lieutenants. But I thought I was doing the right thing. And that's all she's gonna say.
Mods. Thank you. But be gone. So as you sit and you send this out. Wait. And there is a much, much longer pause this time. To the point where you're debating on if there was actually another charge. And then you just hear, my little flower, I'm so sorry I'm not sure what happened, but I will talk with... One sec. I will talk with Ulgarf Thoron and see if we can do something about this. The Baron is new to his job, but he's still a bit of... That's off again.
Genevieve just sighs. How would Genevieve know that it's out of charges? Like, does it lose its glow?
When you touch it, like to talk, it's almost like, think of like it's a push to talk, essentially, right?
Okay.
So
okay.
like as you're holding this orb, it is like essentially for visual purposes, it looks like a flower in like a very like sky blue resin. But when you press like your thumb on it and begin talking, it emanates a faint glow. So you don't actually know how many charges there are. You just always like you kind of just used it once. It was like, oh, cool.
Okay. Genevieve will try talking with her father again. I am so sorry, Father, for causing this trouble. But it was to protect my friends and innocents. And that's all she says.
So you're saying this and you kind of have like your eyes closed a little bit, and you open your eyes as you're like finishing talking, and you realize that the stone is still dark.
Genevieve kind of just looking at the orb, noting that it's not glowing anymore. But she still waits to see if she does get a response. And waiting. And waiting. And waiting. And then when she doesn't get a response back, she kind of just sighs and puts the orb back into her pouch. And kind of just like rubbing her temples a bit, kind of feeling guilty for the trouble that she has caused her father for killing Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as she does that, though, she kind of like takes out her bedroll, which is sized for herself. She kind of rolls out the bedroll and lays down and tries going to sleep.
Okay. Belgrim, please roll me a perception check.
I'm gonna use a luck die on that.
Okay.
Or a luck point.
Hey, use them while you got them.
Ooh, look at that. A nat 20 for 25.
Okay. So, you're sitting there, and the other guys kind of see you taking charge, like taking watch, so they just go to bed. Their day of hunting is done, so they go to bed. And you're kind of sitting out there by yourself. You hear your companions sleeping. You hear these hunters also sleeping. And the night air is just becoming alive with the sound of nature, with the noise of the crickets, and you see little bits of lightning bugs moving around. And as you sit and are really watching all this, you hear a familiar voice. Female voice. coming from the gourd. First, you can't quite hear it until you remove the cork.
Oh, that's weird. Hello?
Why, hello.
Ah,
What are we doing here?
uh, we're helping.
But helping is so boring.
Yes, well, I was bored and had nothing else to do at the time.
Oh, but I miss the mischief. It was so much more fun when we were in the city.
Yeah. We can't always be up to mischief, though. We'd never be able to live comfortably or survive. I'd always have a thing on my head. People would want me too much.
Do I not make you comfortable anymore?
Of course you do. I wouldn't be as powerful as I am without you. My sweet.
And don't you forget it.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh, fine, I guess, if we have to do this boring stuff before we can get back to fun.
It's not all boring. We killed some kobolds. Beat
Yeah,
up
but
this
that was
freaking
like days ago, and now we're just
woods.
sitting in the woods, listening to bugs.
Nature can be quite calming. No, we'll get back to the fun stuff. Don't you worry, my dear.
Remember that bard? She was nice. I want to listen to her again.
She was nice. She caught them coins right out of the air. That was something.
Mm.
I was kind of being a dick and throwing them, you know?
I know, it would have been so funny if it hit her, though.
Right. Something else.
Fine. Are they saying are there actually vampires out here?
Man, I don't know, but I mean, they claim that they're investigating uh, clues and instances of them, but they're a little too new, too fancy to actually seem to have experience. And then who just gives the money for fame?
So,
Like,
Felgrim, I want you to make me a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage, please.
God.
You should be good at these.
All right, so 5, 6, 7, 8.
An
If the-
8.
If the die don't work for me.
So, as you are sitting there and as you're explaining this, all you hear is, hey, you know what we should do? We should go find them now. Come on. It'll be so much fun. Think if
That
we
would be
find them
fun.
tonight.
Don't you do it.
Come on.
Don't you freaking do it, Pelgrim.
Felgrim, you feel compelled.
Oh no.
And
You
as
know what? You're right. Let's go find him. I could do for a spot of fun.
And on that note, that is where we are going to end the show tonight, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Legends of Noia. If you guys like that, please make sure you hit that little heart at the bottom of the screen. We will be bringing you this show. I believe we have 2 more episodes before the end of the year. And then starting in January, we will be moving the show from Thursdays to either Mondays or Tuesdays. But that'll be all coming up in the that'll all be, if you guys join the Discord, you'll be able to see the calendar on all the shows that we have going on. Because we have Legends of Noia, Tales of Diademia, Rise of Sage Mist, we have Diademia Aftermath. We also have a handful of new shows coming up. Some that are still tabletop, but are not D&D based. And I don't know if we're ready to start talking about those just yet. But keep an eye on our Twitter, our Instagram, and on our Discord. Join that. And if you ever want to play, we do lovely little one-shot Saturdays, which are not streamed, but they are recorded, done by, of course, the one and only wonderful Queen Corby, as she crafts these wonderful little stories that I do my best to enhance in any and every way that I can. But with all that being said, everybody, thank you guys so much for being here. I do greatly appreciate everybody stopping by. Let's see, who do we have online that we can go show some love and support to? Now that I am on the right thing. Reaper's Past is currently, actually no, he's gonna be wrapping up here soon. Let's go with the Forbidden Library. I'm Ron Burgundy. The Forbidden Library just started. So we're gonna go ahead and raid the Forbidden Library. So if you guys are a tier 1 sub, that means you have access to all 5, or no, actually all 7 of our tier 1 emotes. So when you guys get over there, just throw up that lovely little owl bear. Just throw that lovely little owl bear up there. Just let them know that we sent you all of the hearts. We will be getting the raid wrench soon, but for now, we will be throwing up those hearts for them. So the Forbidden Library. Okay. And so with all that being said, thank you guys so much once again. And until next time, have a good one. Stay safe. And thank you so much for your time.